taken. These range from providing flexible bill payment arrangements, waiving of late payment fees, and a halt on disconnections. The OUR will be monitoring the temporary customer billing relief measures and encourages customers to closely monitor their bills and contact the utilities or the OUR if there are any queries. Continue to monitor the OUR's website or social media pages for updates. That's it for this edition of Inside the OUR, brought to you by the Office of Utilities Regulation, regulating utilities for the benefit of all. Follow us on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok at the OURJA. Subscribe to the OUR Jamaica Hub on YouTube, the OUR Chat Podcast on Spotify, and the OUR Digest blog on LinkedIn. I'm Daniel Pasley. Join us again next week for another edition.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, we have been tested before, and every time we rise. Together, we will rebuild stronger, safer, and united. Hope lives here. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 5 minutes after 9. And we are going to be joining live the post-cabinet press briefing this morning. We're due to hear from the Minister of Transport, Telecoms, Energy, Daryl Vaz. We're going to join that press conference live now.
And Christmas parties for government entities are off for this year. We will not be having Christmas parties. We have agreed to allow small in-ministry or in-department recognition and morale building activities. So if you're doing something in the office itself, that is fine, but no rental of external venues is allowed. We are strongly, though, encouraging all our ministries, departments, and agencies to conduct outreach activities with members of their team that have been affected and who reside in the affected areas. So we would love to see many of our ministries, departments, and agencies continuing the work that many are doing in terms of doing outreach in the affected areas. In terms of the private sector, we're definitely encouraging the private sector to continue doing what they are doing. We've had reports of many hotels saying that, they're seeing cancellations from private sector entities. We really do need to kind of make up for what is happening in the West in terms of the downturn in economic activity. So those of us in areas that haven't been affected as much, please go out, spend money. The economy needs it, but at the same time, please spend time doing outreach in the affected areas. So again, we have issued directive and Cabinet has agreed that Christmas parties in government, ministries, departments, and agencies will not take place this year. In terms of reconstruction grants, that's something that many members of the media have been asking, members of the public have been asking. What about reconstruction grants? After burial, there were grants that were issued. In Cabinet, we had a discussion around it. We are working towards January, early January, to be able to announce those reconstruction grants, but it is very much contingent on the work.
Listen closely.
Grants to individuals who have been assessed as having been affected. And it's the same thing with the roof repairs. We will only be repairing roof of individuals who have been assessed by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to have been affected. And the assessments are ongoing. Minister is here and he'll be able to give you an update. I think he said he's over 37,000 homes have been assessed, which is a big number, and I congratulate the Ministry of Labor team on getting to that number, and we do plan to accelerate that, and the Minister is here and he'll tell you more about that. Cabinet also approved expenditure for the funeral or the celebration of life for Jimmy Cliff. You would have heard that that celebration of life will take place on Wednesday, December 17, 2025. But Cabinet approved the spend. The government of Jamaica will be taking on all of the costs associated with that celebration of life, and that was approved at Cabinet this week. There were other approvals, but I'll stop there and move on to our first speaker, who is very, very popular today. He's the one who is responsible for getting light back to many of the areas that have light back. So Mr. JPS, Mr. Light, Mr. Telecoms, Mr. Everything, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Education, Energy, Transportation, and Telecommunications. You see what happened when I don't have my glasses, Minister?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Morning to everybody. Excuse my voice, but I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm going to leave JPS for the last, but since I have not been here for a week, I just wanted to give some quick updates on other portfolio responsibilities as it relates to Melissa. So Petrojam, thankfully, the country's fuel supply remains stable and secure, with the Kingston Industrial Loading Rack resumed operation, as we know, within 48 hours of the hurricane. And since October 30th, more than 3,600 tankers have been loaded, along with over 60 tankers at Montego Bay facility. The Montego Bay facility is now back to normal loading operations, which is good news, especially for the West. And our national fuel inventory remains within the internationally accepted comfort range of 2 to 3 weeks supply, and shipments continue to arrive following the completion of the refinery's maintenance shutdown on November 30th. All our airports managed by Airports Authority have resumed operations, though the levels of impact differed significantly. Sansa International, as you know, sustained the most damage. Relief flights began operating there on October 30th, followed by commercial operations on November 1st. Full restoration is projected to continue into February to March 2026. That is in relation to the repairs. And by contrast, Norman Manley International and Ian Fleming and the domestic aerodromes experienced only minor damage and returned to full operations by October 30th. So far, between October 29th and December 2nd, Jamaica's aviation sector staged a swift recovery, processing over 3,000 flights and recording a 26% increase in activity within just 2 weeks. Relief operations have been especially strong, with 935 relief flights, up 50%, and more than 310 helicopter missions supporting evacuations, medical transport, and obviously supply drops. All major airports were restored to service within 24 to 48 hours, beating the 72-hour target. So far, we have processed 212 expedited relief authorizations and moved an estimated 5,000 to 6,000 metric tons of relief cargo. So for civil aviation, I can say we exceeded all recovery targets and remain a critical driver of national relief and recovery efforts. Seaports, to manage peak season cargo volumes and support ongoing Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts, the port community has implemented a series of extended operating hours across November and December 2025. The port community system is offering extended Saturday hours from November 15th to December 13th, while Kingston Wharves has lengthened its weekday gate operations to 6 p.m. through to December 23rd, and opened its warehouses on November 29th, December 6th, 13th, and 20th. Additional dates. So, as I said, the seaports are responding, and thankfully, we're getting quite a bit of relief supplies coming in through the ports on a weekly basis and being able to move it off as quickly as possible. Digicel, both Digicel and Flow continue to show strong and sustained recovery. As of December 5th, Digicel had brought 749 of its 925 sites back online, representing 94% restoration. About 81% of the mobile network is now functioning, supported by a combination of commercial power generators, satellite technology, wherever infrastructure was heavily damaged. On the fixed side, Digicel fiber network has shown robust recovery in many parishes, Kingston, St. Catherine, and Manchester, with more challenging conditions in St. Anne, Westmoreland, and St. James. Companies continue to work to improve the service. Flow is advanced in restoration, is now at 86% restored with 64% of customers back online. Significant work being completed on fiber repairs and network rerouting, and Flow continues to ally its progress with JPS restoration, especially in the corridors, Ocho to Spanish Town, Falmouth to Montego Bay, and Mandeville to Maypen. On the mobile side, 80% of the sites are back in service, allowing the network to carry 97% of its pre-hurricane traffic, which is excellent. Temporary mobile units have been deployed in heavily impacted communities in Westmoreland and St. James, while the technical teams continue to strengthen the inter-site communication. One last thing before I move on to the big topic, which is the restoration, and that is projects and additional support through the National Energy Poverty Reduction Project. I want to speak to government's targeted support for vulnerable households. Some of the previously allocated $1 billion under the National Energy Poverty Reduction Project will be used to assist families severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. This program, which will be implemented by GSF between December 2025 and March 31st, 2026, focuses on restoring safe electrical access, repairing homes, providing house wiring for regularization, and supporting GER recertification and offering small solar solutions to vulnerable groups. It is expected to benefit thousands of households across 7 parishes and 14 priority zones. We anticipate a total cost of $1.479 billion, leaving a funding gap of $479 million, and we continue to work through the appropriate mechanisms to close that gap. Obviously, with this being such an important part, we will make an appeal to the Ministry of Finance to allocate based on the Hurricane Melissa allocations. Our recovery is advancing steadily, and while the western parishes still face significant work, our teams remain fully engaged. And I want to thank again Jamaicans for their patience and commend the men and women on the ground who continue to restore critical services. Also of note, as of December 1st, 90.7% of point-of-sale machines and 87% of the ATMs are now available. That also is huge in relation to people being able to access getting money and other point-of-sale materials. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to close on the issue of the JPS restoration. And I want to be very clear in relation to reiterating some of the information that I've already stated, just out of an abundance of caution and to quiet the miscommunication and the noise. Last Tuesday, I'd have made a statement outlining the decision of the government to lend the JPS $150 million in relation to restoration, early restoration. This came on the basis that their projections were taking us to April, May, and possibly June 2026, based on their current cash flow. Let me indicate again that the loan was a decision recommended and supported by the Ministry of Finance and approved by Cabinet to lend the JPS the $150 million specifically to fast-track restoration, moving us from 82%, where we are now, to 90% by Christmas, New Year, and 100% by end of January. That would mean taking on 300 additional linesmen on top of the 170 that are here now. Without that money, the 170 linesmen would have been decommissioned this week, meaning that they would be decommissioned and have to leave because there would be no funding to pay them. So the $150 million goes towards keeping those 170 linesmen in Jamaica and adding another 300 linesmen. That comes with the equipment, the trucks, and all that you see currently on the road now that 170 linesmen are doing. That decision was made to get us out of having to give any sort of extension on the existing license. This minister and this government made a commitment to the people of Jamaica that the license that expired in 2027 would not be renewed on the same terms, which we all know and agree that the license is 25 years old. It was flawed from day one, and it is even more flawed based on the time that has elapsed and what the energy landscape does now. So in order for us not to grant the 15 years that was asked for by JPS and the 8 to 10 years that the multilaterals asked for to fund the JPS, we decided to be a responsible, caring government and lend the $150 million for 5 years with simple terms. 5.5%, which is very concessionary because we don't want a pass-through for increased bills because of interest rates. So we were mindful of that. It allows us to continue on the track to negotiate a new license with JPS or with whoever. So we have separated Melissa from what we were on track to do pre-Melissa. And I can say to you that in 2 years, if the JPS is successful in negotiating a new license, they'll be able to raise capital and repay the $150 million. If they don't, the government has already indicated in June of this year, rather than giving them an automatic 10-year additional extension for non-response by the government, we indicated to them that we were not prepared to renew the license on the same terms, and therefore, if necessary, we will be prepared to acquire the assets of the JPS. So our $150 million is secured either way. I just don't get what all of this noise and confusion is about. Jamaica, the simple thing would be a decision that would be taken on your behalf. Grant a 15-year extension and continue to suffer under the current license for 15 more years, or lend JPS $150 million. Take the argument of extension out and proceed to restore electricity in the shortest possible time. I don't get it. Anyway, it's very clear. Last week, Tuesday in Parliament, after I spoke, the questions kept coming, and there was a definitive opposition, by the opposition, of releasing $150 million without knowing where the balance of money was coming from. So let me speak to that very clearly. The original estimate was $480 to $600 million. It has been revised down to $350 to $400 million. The $150 billion that we are lending them was not picked out of a hat. They told us they needed $75 million a month for 2 months to bring us full restoration. So yesterday in Parliament again, the noise and the mischief about the fact that the $150 million is not enough, and where is the other 200 or 250 million coming from? That's not a discussion that we have had with the JPS. We have had a discussion about $150 million. The JPS is owned majority privately, so the government has no obligation to fund a private entity. We did so in this case because of the benefits, and therefore we have nothing in front of us either to qualify at this stage the amount or the final assessment of the amount of money that Melissa has caused damage to JPS. We don't have it from the JPS, and I don't have it from the OUR. So I can't speak to any other figure other than what is out there. Secondly, there's no proposal in front of us for any additional money outside of the $150 million. So I want to make that very, very clear. Also, the $50 million through the Emergency Disaster Fund, that is a separate disbursement by the OUR, which is entitled to JPS in a disaster once they can quantify and qualify and justify their claim. So I wanted to
Sure.
that the rationale and benefits to the people in the affected parishes and wider Jamaica are very straightforward. 4 months on top of 1 month already without electricity. 4 more months, meaning 5 to possibly 6 months, is unbearable for the people, and it is absolutely unacceptable for our government in a recovery mode. Fast-track recovery and the rebuild process is critical. It affects government and business revenues, JPS's revenue, to enhance their financing ability to continue the work that needs to be done after restoration. It restores jobs, creates new jobs and business opportunities in the most affected areas and across Jamaica. So again, I'm still not quite understanding what the discussion is about in relation to the benefits of $150 million US dollars, 23 billion Jamaican dollars, out of the $6.7 billion that Jamaica will have access to. This is a wise business decision, a wise government decision, and it's a responsible decision that we will not back away from. And I want to indicate, I as minister, if I had to do it, I would do it every day and twice on Sundays. So I take full responsibility, and I have no apologies, and I have no explanation, because the people who are suffering get it. They know what we are trying to do, and we will continue to do so in the shortest possible time. JPS, as of right now, is at 82%. We are planning, and I want to go through this very carefully for you, to move, as I said before, to 90% over Christmas to New Year, and 100% by end of January, early February. I want to give the country the Christmas commitments. The additional 300 line workers, along with their specialized equipment, have been mobilized. The barges with specialized equipment are expected to arrive prior to Christmas. The latest information I have, Minister Dixon, is that linesmen will start arriving here as early as this weekend, ahead of the equipment, which we hope will dock sometime late next week into next weekend, latest early in the week of Christmas, and start working immediately. These line workers will be allocated to parishes with catastrophic damage, such as Westmoreland, to accelerate redesign and rebuild efforts. We have already provided power to Savlamar Hospital, the town of Savlamar, Negril, and surrounding communities as we continue to expand our rebuild efforts in Westmoreland. We are making arrangements for special accommodations and staging areas for equipment and material in parishes such as Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth to optimize logistics and efficiencies for the rebuild restoration efforts. Let me pause to tell you the level of planning that we are doing. We know that accommodations are short, St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. We know they're not as short, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne. We are looking to get some kind of vessel, whether it's a cruise ship, hotel, whatever you call it, to dock between St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. So those linesmen that are dedicated at that parish will be staying on board and coming off every morning, going to work and coming back every evening. And they will be fed on the road for lunch while they are working, because we realize with Westmoreland at 88%, the travel commute to leave out of the parish and go anywhere else is not going to be as efficient. That's the level of detail. For the other side, we're fine. There's enough rooms and hotel rooms and Airbnb and whatever else. But we know that there's a problem. And we know that there's going to be a lot of the linesmen that are going to be targeted those two specific parishes. So that's why you're going to get the response that you're going to get between Christmas and New Year in those parishes. Also, and this is very important, we're working with the MPs and the municipal corporations to see exactly what they recommend as the priorities for their constituents and their parishioners, to make sure that we target what is most effective and efficient for the Christmas season to ease the misery index in those areas. And the commitment that the JPS has made to me, which I have put in writing, all major town centers in all parishes will be restored by Christmas and New Year. It means all of those townships that are not or do not have electricity now will have, and that will be huge in terms of the effect for Christmas and New Year. So you will see the latest numbers in relation to the parishes. As I said before, the major problem that we have is that Westmoreland was the worst affected parish, and therefore they are at the highest number of persons who do not have electricity. So, again, I want to say two things in closing. And this must be specific to trying to get rid of the noise and the miscommunication and all that goes with it. For every time that somebody thinks or criticizes the government for the steps that we are taking, I want those of us who have a comfortable bed to sleep in, some of us with air condition, TV, phone service, cable and internet, food in our cupboard and fridges, a business or a job and a salary, a place to go for a drink to get rid of the stress, that there are tens of thousands who don't, and their only wish now would be for a tarpaulin to cover them from rain and sun, and a bottle of water to quench their thirst, and maybe a diaper for their young child. We as a government, we feel your pain, and this is why we have given you the electricity plan that we have given you today. I hear or see two specific MPs in Westmoreland who came to, one went on social media and hit out against the JPS loan, and one in Parliament yesterday who grilled the Minister of Finance about the prudence of this. Yet still, one of them on social media up to recently was crying crocodile tears in one and then fighting against it. I want to leave this with you. As usual, I like to go to my Oxford dictionary. And I Google crocodile tears. Tears are expressions of sorrow that are insincere. The origin, mid-16th century, said to be named from a belief that crocodile wept while devouring or luring their prey. That is the one on social media. The one yesterday that called We're Crying Parliament last week. We have a thing called dry cry. I looked it up and it said dry cry meaning in Jamaica. In Jamaican patois, dry cry often refers to pretending to cry or shedding fake tears to gain sympathy, attention, or manipulate a situation. It implies a false sense. It implies a false display of sadness without being genuine. I leave that to the Jamaican people to judge and to say to you as I close, God always knows best. And that is why the Andronis JLP government was chosen to lead this recovery and rebuild process. That's why I'm Minister of Energy working with JPS on early restoration of remaining JPS customers without light. That will be able to do so in a matter of weeks. I want to remind Jamaica that we are 5 weeks into Melissa, and we have restored 82% of JPS customers. First world countries have had less than category 5 and taken 6 months to a year to be able to do so. I want to say again in closing, I stoutly defend the recommendation of the loan to JPS to Cabinet and the approval given rather than an extension of the existing electricity license to JPS. And I have no regrets or apologies, as it's the best option for the people of Jamaica to allow for a return to normalcy in the shortest possible time. The government has done the right thing based on extreme circumstances that the country and the people face at this time, especially with Christmas and New Year's. And as I said a few months ago, I was going to give the people of Jamaica bus after bus after bus. I'm going to give them light after light after light. God bless Jamaica, and we look forward to continuing the work for you, the people.
Thank you, Minister.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Spring into style with Unique Living. Upgrade your home with our extensive range of products. Get sleek shower panels, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, plus kitchen sinks, closet solutions, ceiling fans, and more. Available in various finishes and sizes. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call 876-755-3661 or visit our website at www.uniquelivingja.com. Don't wait to spring into style with Unique Living.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:38.
Merry Money Mania loan promotion. This Christmas, borrow big and win bigger. Get loans of $1.5 million or $2 million at specially reduced rates, plus a chance to win your share of $1 million. New customers get double entries. Hurry! The promotion runs October 15 to December 19, 2025. Visit any branch or chrisandcharles.com for details. Chris and Charles, making Christmas merry. Conditions apply.
Sherwin-Williams brings you Colors of Hope. From November 28th to December 20th, brighten your world with 20% off select decorative paints and drive with confidence with 15% off automotive paints. Because hope starts with color. Visit your nearest Sherwin-Williams store today and let your colors tell a story of hope. Don't wait. These savings won't last forever. Sherwin-Williams, bringing hope to life.
For a limited time, Home International Limited is offering a special price on select Corian colors. You can't miss this. Choose Corian for your kitchen or bathroom countertops. Corian is durable, beautiful, and long-lasting, solid right through, and no sealing necessary. Visit us at 104 Constant Spring Road or telephone 876-755-1970 or 276-6448. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Well, that was a paid broadcast of Minister Daryl Vass's presentation at the post-cabinet media briefing, still happening now at the office of the Prime Minister. We are going to continue with the Consumer Hour. I want to say good morning to all of you who are listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 or 90.9 on Air FM dial. We appreciate your company there. If you're listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. Many of you now over there on the YouTube channel. Let me just say good morning to a few of you. SH, good morning. I'm seeing SH first in the chat. Popper, good morning. Beverly Ricketts, Philip Jackson, Herman Hyatt, Anna K. Gordon, good morning to you. Herman, I said good morning already. Good morning again, Herman. Alia Wisdom, good morning to you. Queen B and all the others over there on YouTube. Lots of you over there on YouTube. Good morning to you. If you're listening from our mobile app, Revo News, available on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, and our website, revonews.ai. Good morning to all of you. For the remainder of the Consumer Hour, we're going to open the phone lines for you. We will take your calls. So if you have any consumer-related matters, you can give us a call. The numbers to call, 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4, and 618-6730. So that's 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-6730. Just before we jump into any of your calls or anything else, I want to say a happy belated birthday. I missed it yesterday. I did have it in my phone, but I completely forgot. At the outside broadcast on Friday in Litchfield, Trelawney, I met a lady who says she listens to Nationwide all the time in the mornings, and she wanted me to wish her grandson, Kalen Isaac, happy birthday. It's his 4th birthday. Yesterday was his birthday. So happy belated birthday to you, Kalen Isaac. all of 4 years old now. I hope it was a good one, and I hope you will live to see many, many more. Once again, happy belated birthday to Kaylin Isaac from Trelawney, Litchfield. Met him and his grandma in Litchfield, Trelawney. All right, we are now over to your calls. Once again, the numbers to call 876-630-9371. That goes up to 4, and 618-8255. Glenford Clark in the YouTube chat said, you forgot about me. I didn't read all the names, Glenford. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Glenford. I'm seeing Patrick saying there's no 90 FM in Ocho Rios. We are working. We are aware that we are down in some areas from a little bit before the hurricane and some since the hurricane. We're working, Patrick. We're working. Please bear with us, and thank you so much for joining us on YouTube in the meantime. Really appreciate that, Patrick. The numbers to call, 876-630-9371. There's also 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. We are, no, what am I saying? 618-6730. Let me, well, we are up on the break. Kevin, I don't know if we're taking this break or okay, we are. Okay, let's take this break, and then when we come back, we will take your calls and your comments in the YouTube chat.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is...
It's 9:45.
Welcome home to Tessera. Gated Smart Homes by SIAC Community in Portmore. Enjoy climate-resilient living with 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom smart homes starting at $36.95 million. Safe, sustainable, and perfect for families ready to live smarter. Apply online today at smarthomesjamaica.com. Smart Homes by SIAC, where smart comes standard.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Chakama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. With 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton, and we are taking your calls for the remainder of the program. If you were just joining us, you missed the paid broadcast there of Minister Vaz's presentation at the post-cabinet media briefing, still happening now. If you want to hear what he said, you can go back on over. He gave some updates about JPS. He also gave some telecoms updates, as well as things having to do with our ports, the wharves, and so forth. So lots of information coming out of the press briefing. You can definitely go back and get those updates in detail. All right. Just before I go to the phone lines, there's an issue that I have heard persons talking about, and I also saw, I think, about 2 videos online recently talking about the same thing. And especially when it comes on to the Christmas season, you know, nefarious activities and those little thieves and those kind of people, they surface in this time. And the issue has to do with your cards. Now, I want to use this platform to let you know that you need to be careful. Of course, everybody knows that they should be careful with their cards. But there is something that it's not new. I don't think it's a new thing. But I've heard more persons talking about it recently, and I just thought that I should use the opportunity to talk about it as well. When your card declines from using a POS machine, be careful. So if it declines and you know you have money on your card, be careful how you continue to try to run that card. Because apparently there are some types of machines, or I don't know what the mechanism is that they have within the machine that is allowing them to take either your card information or gain access in some way to your account. And so I've heard persons saying that they use it at wherever, gas station, shop, wherever, and it declined, and they say, no man, try it again, because you know you have money. And they say, try it again, and then, you know, them probably connect something to the internet one more and say, all right, try it again. And it is a way to get access to your card. So if your card declines, just be very cautious how you continue to keep trying that card. If it's urgent, then do what you must. But if you can go elsewhere or try to get some cash, I would suggest you do so, because apparently you can't tell necessarily when it's happening, because whatever they're using, it looks like a machine. It looks just the same. Nothing is out of the ordinary when it's happening. So just be careful. Our to the wise is sufficient. Camille, good morning.
Nora. All right, I have a problem. Before the hurricane, there was no internet at my home. This is in Irish Town.
Mm-hmm.
I've been calling Flow. They have given me number on top of numbers to say that they are reference numbers. Each time I call, they are telling me that within the next 24 hours or so, they are going to be there. No, the line is broken, and I would tell them that. And up to now,
the line is what?
Broken.
Okay.
And no one has come to look at it. And another problem I'm having is that there is now 6 weeks and there's no water.
There is no what?
No water.
You said something before, no water.
No, I said in Irish Town. It has been 6 weeks.
Oh, 6 weeks.
This is about the 7th week going on, and there is no water, especially on Old Road, Simon Spring Road, that they call Old Road.
Mm-hmm.
And I've called Water Commission on numerous occasions, and no one has come to look. They are telling me to get a plumber. Someone has looked, and they don't see any leaks from the home or anything.
So
and I've been saying to them, it looks as if it is a blockage in the line, and up to now, nobody comes.
The water issue, is it just you, your home, or is it the community?
No, other persons are having the same problem.
In your neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay. So 2 issues. You said your internet access in Irish Town has been out before the hurricane. There is a broken line, so you're suspecting that's what's causing the absence of the internet.
Right.
And also the water situation, no water in Irish Town.
Yes.
You said Old Road?
Yes, Simon Spring Road.
Simon Spring Road.
Right.
For 7 weeks now.
7 weeks now.
All right. What I'm gonna do, I don't know, you know, flow is a tricky one, but I'm gonna ask you to stay on the line. We're gonna need some information from you. Your name and a contact number, your NWC account number for the NWC issue, and we can relay that information to NWC and Flow and see if we can get a response for you.
Okay.
If there's a different name on the account, you can give that information as well.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to look for the numbers because I think those numbers are in my phone.
Oh.
So I have to go call and get the numbers and call you back.
Okay, well, at least leave your name and contact number so that if anything we can get that from you.
Yeah.
All right. The Flow situation, I don't know. I forgot to tell Camille that when they tell you 24 hours, they're just reading from their script, you know. That's what they told them in orientation and training, that this is what you should tell the customer, that someone will be there in 24 hours. True or not? That's what you need to tell the customer to appease them and let them feel like something is going to happen, and then because 24 hours, everybody, every call you call Flow, someone will be there in 24 hours. All when them not log nothing, all when nobody not know, them want to tell about it and them want to know, somebody will be there in 24 hours. They're just reading from a script. They're just following what they were told to do. It means nothing. Don't feel at ease when someone from Flow tells you they'll be there in 24 hours. They probably won't be. But we can hold them to account because that's what they told us. And as we should. So Flow, Irish Town, residents in Simon Spring, they have been without internet for over a month, 2 months, because if it's before the hurricane, then I think it's almost coming up on 2 months now, and nothing from you. They've identified a broken line and they assume that's the reason they're without internet service. And as is customary, Flow, I am sure that you are sending the bill. So please just ensure that you can attend to this one. Thank you. In the YouTube chat, Spurtree Homeaway Villa says, exactly, Nora. That's exactly what they do. Read from the script. I'm so happy this time around I'm not going to give them any bad name. We've been back up in quick time in Manchester. I remember after Hurricane Beryl, when Spurtree, the person operating Spurtree Homeaway Villas called us and you know had to come on here with the issue regarding Flow and the internet service at the Airbnb they're operating there. And you know, when you have an Airbnb, somebody booking your Airbnb, internet is a very critical component. That kind of facility is necessary, and not having that is a problem. Flow, I tell you, Flow is almost like a monopoly, you know, almost. But they do what they do and they stay in business. So, who am I? What can I say? But I think if we have no other callers for the morning, Mr. Jones slid right in time. Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Oh, okay. It's safe off on the radio. All right. Yes, I'm having the same issue. You know, I just listening to the radio and you're saying that Flow gives you 24 hours. The same thing with this because I have been a problem with the internet connection on my phone. My daughter, so when I look on her internet connection on her phone, it's saying 40 megabytes per second, 30 megabytes. And when I look on my phone is saying 1 megabyte, 0.5 megabytes. So I went down to Digicel and asked them, what is the issue? They said they're going to...
Digicel or Flow?
No, man, Digicel. I went down to Digicel building there where it is.
Oh, you are having the same issue, but you are having it with Digicel?
Yes. No,
okay.
Man, maybe like for a long time, you know, because I deal with them for 15 years and I pay round corner, so I cut them off totally. So I'm on Digicel now.
I see.
All right. So the issue I'm having, I went down there a month ago, and they said they will make a technician call me to find out what the issue I'm having, why me I get 1 megabyte per second when I put on a service and my daughter getting 30 megabytes and 40 megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 month gone, I'm not hear from them all now. You understand? And when you call them to them hotline or what they want to call it, you can't get through to them, so I don't know what is happening.
And nobody was able to go through with you when you went to the Digicel store.
No, I sat down and spoke with an agent and I tell her that universally what persons does, they go on speed test and they see the type of service that they're getting. They say they know you speed test. Some say then, you know when the person is getting a bad service. Other from when you talk on a WhatsApp call, the call drop every minute. They try to send you a picture, the picture now send you. You know, say they don't use that technique. Some say no, that is the only technique we have to use to know that we're not getting any service. Especially going attention going come within 24 hours. And now it's nearly a month now, and because of work commitment, we can't get to go down the car to go down the person because you can't get none of them.
Okay.
From the line where they put them up. So I don't know what they're doing about it. They're right beside you.
And your internet service is the same way. Your data connection is
it get worse
horrible.
now because of the data connection on my phone. It's getting worse, and I want to tell you when it get worse when it's in the city. I mean, I'm living in Portmore, but when I go in like in Architree or downtown, the service is poorer. But I don't know. It's something
It's probably something with your device then. If you're using the data and it's not working, and your daughter is in the same house and hers is working, then something's probably wrong with the device itself. I'm not sure. So stay on the line and let's take your information, give your name and your contact number so that we can see if we can get someone from Digicel to assist you. All right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, no problem. That's where we're going to leave it for the Consumer Hour this morning. Cliff Hughes Online is up next.
That was